Like Anne Marie, I wasn't prepared with a story tonight, but I'll see what I can do off the top of my head. Keith Hammond, my beloved friend and neighbor, has recently started putting together a collection of Indian folklore and objects. And he's got a beautiful collection, canoes and paintings and arrows and quivers. But the one that really stuck out in my mind was he has this little tomahawk with leather thongs that tie this piece of rock on it. You know, cute little tomahawk. I had one like it when I was a child. And I had, well, a little background. I'm one of 14 kids. My pedigree, if you take a look at my grandparents' names, were Okasane, McDermott, McClincy, O'Donnell. Yes, I'm Irish Catholic, and living proof rhythm doesn't work. When you're that age and you get sent off to school, where do they think they send you? Parochial school, which back in the 50s was run by nuns. And the particular group of nuns that we had at our school were called the Sisters of Mercy. Now, I won't get into the whole conversation about what a contradiction in terms that turned out to be, but I will tell you that I ended up having stitches twice because of the conduct of those nuns. Now, granted, according to my parents, I deserved the attack. First was the ruler. The second was when I brought my little Indian tomahawk into class and was playing with it, and sister came over, took it from my hand, and rapped me on the head, which cut my head open, which required a few stitches. Needless to say, by the time I got done with the second grade, I did not have a terribly positive image of nuns. It happened to be the same time where our pastor decided it would be a really good idea on that vacant lot we have across the street from the classroom if we build a convent. And we could move 20 or 30 of those nuns into there, and it would solve a living arrangement problem that many of the different churches had. So he raised the funds and he got the plans together, and a local contractor started building this convent at the end of my second grade year. And all summer long, I'd get on my bike and I'd ride down there and I'd watch this thing coming up out of the ground. And in September, when classes began, the convent was pretty much done, and they had moved the nuns into it. And it was a pretty impressive looking building. It looked like the church and the school did. But I noticed something a little strange. On Tuesday mornings, a green panel truck would drive up to the rear door, and a man in coveralls would get out. They'd knock on the door, and he'd go inside. And he was in there for about 15 or 20 minutes. Now, I don't know what you know about 7-year-olds. You know, we can sometimes have inappropriate thoughts about what might be going on here. And I was like my classmates, and I was thinking, there's some kind of hanky-panky going on in that new convent. So I was a little bit distrustful. And I kept watching this week after week. Tuesday, green panel truck would pull up, and I'd go inside, they'd come out 15 or 20 minutes later. So I was on the playground during recess, and I was sharing my concerns with a fellow classmate. He said, what'd the truck look like? I said, green Chevrolet pickup truck, or panel truck. And he said, that sounds like one of my dad's trucks. Your dad's trucks? Yeah. What's your dad do? Well, he runs a commercial laundry service. Well, that's not an industry or a business. And he said, well, you know, that's where they pick up all their laundry and do it and then return it. And it was at that moment in time that all my illusions about the sanctity of these women was put aside, because that was the moment I learned that even nuns have dirty habits.